Yes, good evening to all the session chair. I would like to thank AsiaCon and uh, all the members who are present with it for giving us the opportunity to present this. So, myself Gaurav Verma, I am going to present the paper ID 833 entitled Drowsiness Detection and Classification System Design Towards Better Road Safety. So, these are my co-authors Apurva Sharma and Prashant Kumar, and I will be presenting this paper presentation on behalf of them. So these are the contents of the presentation. So as we all know that road accidents are increasing day by day uh, because of the one or the other reasons. The number of vehicles are also increasing per day, as well as the but one of the main reason is that the driver who was driving the vehicle, he is he is in the state of drowsiness or in the unconscious state, and that leads to its low level of decision making capability, and thus it results in one or the other kind of accidents. So what we are trying to do in this project basically is that we are trying to implement a device which can detect the drowsiness state of the driver, and it can alert the driver or some other person, so that the accidents can be prevented. So there has been a lot of work done in this state, including that the mind waves, the brain waves are basically analyzed, and they are treat they are they are treated on some software or neural network sort of thing, so that they can detect that whether the driver is conscious or in a or not in a proper state. So see, from a biological point of view, we can say that any person who is driving any vehicle, he has a set of movements, including the head movement, the eye movement, the eye blinking rate, the heart rate, the brain wave activity. All these form the part of a characteristic which can be detected, and they can be classified as he is whether he is suitable for driving at that particular instance or not. So the basic system is to design a brain computer interface. The first thing is that whatever thing is occurring in the human biological brain or biological system, that needs to be interpreted by the system at the software level, that is at the digital level, we can say at the computer system. So that can be that needs to be incorporated, so that we can analyze the whatever the human brain is standing, and what the computer system can manipulate and compute on. So the basic BCI, the brain computing interfaces, they can be classified as invasive, semi-invasive, and non-invasive system. So in invasive system, we require a surgery to place microelectrodes directly into the cortex, which can directly send the signals to the brains. The semi-invasive semi-invasive approach, basically the electrodes are placed at the exposed surface above the surface on the brain, and they can get some sort of signals which are termed as basically ECOG. And non-invasive systems are that the electrodes are something like a system which can sensor the signals of the brain, and they can be placed on the outer surface of the human scalp, like we do in a similar EEG type of system. So EEG, which stands for electroencephalogram signals, they can be used to detect the electrical activity or changes in the activity in the brain during whatever sort of things we are doing. For example, if we are reading, we are sleeping, we are working, or we are doing some physical work heavily, that these EEG signals, they follow a follow a pattern depending on what sort of thing we are doing. So the electrodes which are placed on the systems, they track up the signals generated by the brain, and then we can analyze and compute on those signals to to generate the information which we are supposed to do work on. So EEG signal based thing is most popular and most common and most easily feasible thing which we can use for brain monitoring sort of thing. Okay, so the brain waves are basically classified in some classes where we are where we divide the brain waves into different slots of bandwidths, and these bandwidths define what sort of functioning is performed actually by that body, human body. Okay, so the brain waves are classified as delta, theta, alpha, beta, and gamma. So for the delta frequency, it is very low frequency, and it occurs when we are basically sleeping or we are not doing any physical work. And then theta frequency is just above the delta frequency, where we are in a sort of unconscious state of mind. Then alpha frequency is that alpha frequency occurs when we are in a normal state. Then beta frequency is beta frequency occurs when we are doing some work in which we have to in which we are actually applying some sort of force, or we are functioning with our mind, like for example studying or doing some official work. Then gamma frequency is the highest range of frequency, which occurs when we have some unconditional things, like we are too sad or too angry, then that sort of thing, that comes under gamma frequency. So the aim of this project or this work is that we have to acquire the brain waves depending on the whatever things we are doing, and then classifying it whether it is suitable for the driving purpose or not. So these are the typical sample brain waves which are provided in the standard data sets available freely, the delta, theta, and alpha, beta, and gamma waves. So what we propose in our system is that we have a driver system, and then we provide a device sort of thing, like a headset, and that can acquire the brain signals, and that is connected to a system which can process those signals, and depending on what the individual driver is feeling, that according to that we can generate the alert whether he is good to drive or he needs some rest, like that sort of thing. The basic aim of the whole project is that we have to inhibit the accident detection. So in the proposed system, what we need to do is that we acquire EEG signals from our device, and then we, since the EEG signals we acquire from the device from the real-time data that are quite noisy, so we provide some filtering sort of thing so that we can analyze the exact part of it, and then we perform the most important part, that is feature extraction. What all features we need to extract from that received signal, so that we can classify it. And finally, using classification techniques, whether it is a simple machine learning thing like KNN, or a deeper thing like a neural network, and then we can generate that whether it is working fine in a alert state, or if we find the drowsy state, then we can generate a alarm. So basically this is a part of a complete IoT system. So what we did in this work is that we receive a signal from a hardware named as Mindwave headset, This is typically available, and this is a kind of standard we use to acquire signal from the brain waves. And then we use the MATLAB interface to import the EEG signals from into MATLAB, and then we provide filtering and then signal decomposition, and then we perform the spectrum analysis using KNN and ANN algorithms using the training and testing samples, and then we finally classified if the signal is drowsy or not. If the signal is drowsy, then we perform the alarm, then we alert the user to generate alarm. Otherwise, we are good to go. Then during the filtering, this is the first stage. During the filtering, we perform some filters using band pass filter, or you can use a combination of other filters also. So we use band pass filter to pass the alpha frequency and the theta frequencies to detect because our aim is to detect the drowsiness. If the drowsiness is detected, then the alarm needs to be provided to the user. Otherwise the user is fine to go. So these are the results we obtained using the MATLAB simulations. We provided the original time series signal and then the band pass time signal, and then we also applied the notch filter for refining, for specifying that whether the signal is in that range or not, depending on the brain waves. So for the feature extraction, we use discrete wavelet transform, as it is the traditional and the most standard method, and it is easily applicable in the MATLAB sort of softwares. So we divided our signal into discrete wavelet transform and then analyzed it using MATLAB software. So now the thing is that once we have extracted the features, we have to classify it whether it is detecting drowsiness or it is not. So we use two machine learning classifiers. Basically, one is the ANN and the other is the KNN. So for the KNN sort of thing, KNN works on the principle that if we have 10 samples, and let's suppose, let me explain it like this. We have a sample space S, and we have two classes. The one is positive and the other is negative. Then if we have, let's say, suppose 10 samples in our sample space, and we have 4 samples favoring the first case and 6 samples favoring the second case, then we separate the sample space into two halves, such that this separating line is dependent on the neighbors or the sample space which we are considering here. Let's suppose we have 4 samples here and 6 samples here. So whenever a new let's suppose I have a new sample here, then depending on whether it lies more towards this or this, yes, so yeah, just 2 minutes. So depending on whether our sample is nearer to the number of samples in the nearest neighbors, we decide the class of this new sample. So that is how a KNN simply works. And the artificial neural network does not need any such things, because it has already a network of neurons and synapses which can extract features on its own. So in our work, we have used this ANN functions inbuilt in MATLAB. This train SCG, train BFG, train CFG, CGF, CGB, CGP, and GDA. So these inbuilt functions we have used to train our neural network to classify whether the signal is detecting drowsiness or not, and depending on that we have achieved the performance matrices like accuracy, sensitivity, and specificity of the data set which we are working on. So we have achieved the accuracy on this. So although KNN achieves a higher accuracy than the ANN methods, but uh, but but what we prefer is that we can go for ANN transfer functions with some inbuilt, with some not with the inbuilt functions, but we can modify it, the ANN transfer functions, and we can achieve further more accuracy in that. So that what we have made during the whole project was that IoT based system which can with a signal acquiring device, and that can process the data in real time and can generate results. That's all. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Any queries or?
Yes, fine. The KNN algorithm you are using now, KNN,
Yes.
Gaurav?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Sorry for the delay. Sorry for the delay because of network. Yeah, KNN. Rather than KNN, you might have come with across with new algorithm. Anybody,
Yes,
anyone?
sir. We have also used ANN, but for the ANN we have used the inbuilt features only. We have not
Inbuilt
we are
features.
still working on the modified ANN or deep learning neural networks, so
Yeah,
that it can
you
extract
are
the
working
features
on the
of
deep
that.
learning. I'll accept it. You are using ENN. I'll accept it. But KNN, it's a very old algorithm. Will you accept
Yes,
it?
sir.
Huh. Then nowadays it's 2021. Okay. As per today's trend, you might have come up with some new algorithm which can support you and give accuracy and performance better.
Yes, sir. Of course,
Hmm?
the deep
Yeah,
learning.
you can go ahead. I don't have any objection. You can go ahead. Just given my idea to you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hmm? Fine. Thank you. Presentation was good. Okay.
Thank you, sir.